Tonight on News 3 Now at 10, the governor is partnering with a local authority to help housing needs with the $2 million will fund. And now that the big day's over, you might be wondering what you'll do with that tree, how the city will help you dispose of it. And the Packers' Jordan Love isn't playing Saturday due to his concussion, who's stepping up to take his place. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ellie La Liberté. Sarah and Eric have the night off. Well, after a mild holiday season, it's about to get a little colder, and Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here in studio. Alex, what could that mean for the travel on Sunday?
That's a great question. I encourage folks with what we have coming on Sunday, going into Sunday night. If you can do your travel tomorrow on Saturday, I would highly recommend it. There is going to be an opportunity on Sunday morning with rain in the area, but by the time we get to Sunday night, and I started mentioning this last night, snow, a flash freeze, and very strong winds will take hold from Madison, Aries to the north, and this is Sunday night going on into Monday morning, and this is all of the state of Wisconsin as well, and much of the upper Midwest. So again, tomorrow is probably your best travel day, and here's why. That weather system builds rapidly in the Midwest with rain to start the day. As we get into Sunday evening, that rain quickly changes over to snow. We have strong winds out of the north and northwest, gusting at times to 35 to 40 miles per hour, and also looking at the potential for that flash freeze across southern Wisconsin with this weather system that takes its time getting out of here. Still snowing on Monday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and finally as we get into the afternoon, that snow moves off towards the north and towards the east. But tonight we got fog. Don't be surprised to have dense fog advisories show up on the First Warn weather app. And tomorrow, again, this is why I want you to travel tomorrow. Temperatures right around 40 before the big changes on Sunday. More on those big changes when I come back.
Thanks, Alex. We'll check back in. Well, in our top stories tonight, a woman is in the hospital with serious injuries after a crash this morning. Just after 9, Dodge County deputies found a car in the area of Industrial Drive between East Avenue and Main Street in Lamira. EMS took the sole occupant, a Milwaukee woman, to the hospital. She's expected to live. The sheriff's office believes the woman was headed south on Industrial Drive when her car left the road. It entered a field and went over a hill. Then the car crossed a frozen retention pond and launched toward a tree line. The sheriff's office says the car's speed, how the woman was wearing her seatbelt, and a potential medical condition may have led to the crash. And 3 animals are dead in a tragic Christmas morning fire that destroyed a home in Columbia County. Fire crews responded to Hogan Road in Lewiston around noon yesterday and found a 2-story house engulfed in heavy smoke and flames. Multiple departments assisted. No people were inside and no injuries were reported among firefighters or EMS personnel. Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority are awarding $2 million in grant funding to help Wisconsin's most vulnerable residents. The money will support emergency shelters, transitional housing, and extremely low-income housing projects in 27 counties. It'll create or improve more than 1,500 beds and housing units statewide. Officials say the grants will help people facing homelessness, domestic violence, and mental or physical health challenges while strengthening local communities. Wisconsin is joining a lawsuit to block the Department of Health and Human Services from enforcing a ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. unveiled that plan earlier this month, calling such procedures, quote, malpractice. In a statement on joining the suit, Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Kaul said in part, quote, Secretary Kennedy must not be permitted to exercise major influence by decree over what health care is available. Allowing the HHS secretary to do so could have sweeping consequences for access to quality, evidence-based health care. And in Milwaukee, the city says it's finished stabilizing nearly 100 public schools identified as having lead paint hazards earlier this year. This was after a student was diagnosed with elevated levels of lead in their blood back in January. An investigation found it was likely through exposure to lead from flaking paint in a school basement bathroom. Additional inspections determined lead hazards in 99 schools built before 1978, when it was still legal to use lead in paint. Over a 10-month period, teams refurbished about 7 million square feet inside Milwaukee's public schools. The city of Milwaukee says it spent at least $43 million on the lead abatement project. The work wrapped up 2 weeks before the deadline. In more local news, with Christmas in the rearview mirror, becomes a busy time for the City of Madison Streets Division as they prepare for the holiday Christmas tree collection. Arnesh Dara has the story.
Yeah, Ellie, we may not have had a white Christmas, but nonetheless, holiday trees were scattered immensely throughout Madison. However, with Christmas officially behind us, we now enter the time to properly dispose of those trees.
Make certain that there's no tree stands, don't put it in a bag, get the lights off, no ornaments. People picking the tree up by hand, throw them in the back of our truck. Then we drive them to the processing center to turn them into mulch.
For many people, when you remove the Christmas tree from your home, it points to the official end of the winter holidays in the household.
It's not wreaths or boughs or other things that could have wires and stuff in them. Any other sort of evergreen sort of decorations, those go in the trash. We're just picking up trees at the curb.
The holidays don't just leave more work with tree disposal. It also creates more trash, which is another variable the streets division has to take into account.
With excess trash as well, we have a set of rules about how to put extra trash out at the curb or use our drop-off sites.
Reminder, stage 1 of collection begins on Monday, January 5th, and round 2 will start up a couple of weeks later on the 20th. But if you would like to dispose of your tree earlier, or if you miss your pickup date, you can always take the tree to the drop-off site, and those sites' locations can be found on the City of Madison's website.
Nash, thank you. If more winter weather comes into play during those dates, tree collection could be subject to delays. And the City of Madison is also sending out reminders on end-of-year trash pickup. There will be no trash or recycling pickup on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. That's next Wednesday and Thursday. If your regular collection day is Tuesday or Wednesday, carts must be at the curb by 6:30 Tuesday morning. Thursday and Friday routes should set carts out by 6:30 Friday morning. Drop-off sites will also be closed both days and reopen Friday. Well, whether it wasn't quite what someone wanted or didn't fit right, 17% of all holiday gifts will be returned this season. This year, those returns could come with some new costs. The National Retail Federation finds that over 70% of merchants have started charging for at least one return option in the past 12 months. They're citing rising shipping costs and cutting down on return fraud. However, this mostly applies to online purchases. In-person shopping and returns are still generally free. And as more retailers add fees and tighten return rules, the Better Business Bureau urges shoppers to slow down before returning gifts. The BBB says stores aren't required to offer refunds unless an item is defective, and policies can change during the holidays. Shoppers should check return windows, watch for restocking or shipping fees, and keep receipts and additional packaging. The BBB also recommends using credit cards for additional protection and making returns as soon as possible to avoid missing deadlines. Well, Jordan Love is not playing in the Packers game against the Ravens tomorrow following his concussion. Stepping up instead is Malik Willis, and head coach Matt LaFleur says he can handle it. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more.
The Green Bay Packers will be without their starting quarterback on Saturday night against the Baltimore Ravens. Jordan Love, who suffered a concussion in Chicago last Saturday night, did not clear the NFL's protocol. He is out for the game. And while the Packers would certainly rather have their franchise quarterback under center, they may have the best backup in football in Malik Willis. Not only is he confident that he is ready for the assignment, but after winning 2 games with him as the starter a year ago, Matt LaFleur believes that Willis can handle anything the Packers would have planned for Love against the Ravens.
It's credit to him. It's his ability. What's so cool about it, and I don't know if you guys get this, the feel on game day when you're watching it, just how even keel he is. I mean, I don't think his heartbeat even goes up a blip when it's all of a sudden, hey, grab your helmet, you're going in the game. I just don't get any sense. He is just as steady as they come, and I think that's just a hell of a trait to have, because I think most of us probably would be a little bit different in that situation.
You got to focus on executing these plays. You can't be worried about, the environment or, what people are going to think about it or this and that. You just got to go out there and play.
We'll have more on Malik Willis as he gets ready for his 3rd start as the Packers quarterback, along with everything else you need to get ready for Packers Ravens on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
And next at 10, are you planning on going out for New Year's Eve? We'll share some options to make sure you stay safe on the way home. And we're checking back in with Alex on your First Warn forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Well, it's almost time for New Year's Eve celebrations, but this year the Madison Metro is not offering extended ride services for the holiday, leaving some to figure out other ways home. Our Maya Tate talked with the Director of Public Affairs for AAA to learn about how their Tow to Go program can help keep impaired drivers off the road.
If you find yourself in a situation where your only way home would be to drive impaired, AAA offers a free ride program that will not only pick you up, but also tow your car, so you don't need to find a way back to your car the next day. The service is available to the overall public, whether you have a AAA membership or not.
You really can't stress enough the importance of having a plan before you go out. There just really is no excuse to ever get behind the wheel when you know you're impaired. The risks of doing so to yourself and to others is just unacceptable. And this is our small way of making sure that there really are no excuses at the end of the night to make that dangerous choice.
AAA does note that Tow to Go is intended to only be used as a last resort, so you can't plan a ride in advance. They also suggest that everyone should plan on having a designated driver or using a rideshare. Tow to Go is typically available around major holidays such as New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving, and St. Patrick's Day. For more information on the service, you can check out AAA's website.
Thanks, Maya. And to get a free ride within a 10-mile radius, you can call 855-2TOW-TO-GO. New Year's celebrations are a ton of fun, but they can be stressful for you and your neighbor's pets. Animal advocates warn loud fireworks can send pets fleeing in fear, leading to a surge in lost animals this holiday. Experts recommend keeping animals indoors in quiet rooms, equipping them with current ID tags or microchips, and having a plan in place if they do escape. Tools like Fido Alert, a free pet alert service, help notify neighbors when a pet goes missing. Let's now turn to weather. Let's take a look at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here. And Alex, this is a little bit of a warm up, but it doesn't look like it'll be sticking around.
Oh no, and big changes on Sunday. First to mention last night, thought alert day conditions would materialize Sunday night. Alert day conditions look likely as we go into Sunday night from Madison and areas to the north. Rain changing to snow, a flash freeze looks likely, and very strong winds. Let's break it all down for you. Let's start off with the temperatures. As Ellie was just mentioning, mild on Saturday. If you can travel on Saturday, I encourage that. It will still be mild at noon on Sunday, but then watch what happens to our temperatures as we move through the daytime on Sunday. A polar cold front sweeps through as an area of low pressure moves across near southern Wisconsin, with temperatures plummeting into the teens by the time we get to midnight. So anything that's wet on Sunday, that's going to freeze with that quick of a temperature fall, and we wake up Monday morning with temperatures between 10 to 15 degrees. Here's the real kicker. Behind this front and with this weather system, look at these wind gusts expected by the time we get into the early morning hours of Monday and right around 7 o'clock Monday morning, potentially gusting 45 to 50 miles per hour. Those are winds that would meet wind advisory criteria if that materializes, and wind chills between -5, maybe some localized -10 wind chills as we go into Monday morning. So huge changes behind this weather system, and this will cause that flash freeze. Anything that's wet will freeze quickly, and we're going to add snow to that as well here. And we're going Midwest wide here because this is not just a southern Wisconsin weather system. This is an entire Midwest and upper Midwest system on Sunday. That area of low pressure moving into southern Wisconsin, and depending on the track of that low is where the track of the heavier snow is going to be. Right now, rain at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's going to make the ground wet. That's going to make the roads wet. By the time we get into Sunday night, we get on the backside of the weather system, everything changes over to snow. The heavier snow looks likely to set up in central and northern Wisconsin, but again, that can move north and south depending on its track. As temperatures fall, as I was just showing, that flash freeze, anything that's wet is going to freeze, and then you add the snow on top of that. You add 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts. Weather conditions are not going to be good Sunday night going on into Monday morning, and those windy conditions will persist throughout the day on Monday. So a recap of this is rain to snow in southern Wisconsin, strong winds, falling temperatures, and slick travel looks likely Sunday night going on into early Monday morning. temperatures in the 30s. You'd have no inclination that this big change is on the way, with mild temperatures tonight, mild on Saturday with highs right up around 40 degrees as that dense fog starts off our morning. Don't be surprised for dense fog advisories tonight, but the fog will slowly try to lift a bit on Saturday. But that real game changer again is going to be on Sunday. Don't let your guard down. Rapidly changing conditions by Sunday night, going on into Monday. And after that, winter is back here as we go into 2026. Those temps much colder.
Yeah, we're really starting to feel like we're in January at that point.
Here it comes.
Yeah, and you said those slick roads, does that mean ice for people?
Yes, absolutely. So Sunday night and Monday morning, expect slick travel. So if you can do that travel tomorrow, if you're listening on the other side of that camera there and you have family that's traveling tomorrow, maybe you that's traveling, try tomorrow. Do tomorrow.
Yeah, some important information to keep folks safe. Thanks, Alex. Well, we're learning more details about the Christmas Day U.S. airstrikes against Islamic State forces in Nigeria. The Defense Department released this video of what it says was one of the missiles launched late Thursday. President Trump claimed in a social media post the Christmas Day operation targeted ISIS terrorists who have been killing primarily innocent Christians. But a Nigerian Islamic cleric is criticizing the airstrike, saying it targeted a predominantly Muslim area with no history of Christian persecution.
There was never any incident of persecution of Christians in Sokoto State. Their churches were not attacked.
President Trump called the strikes numerous and deadly, but did not offer additional details like what was specifically targeted or the number of casualties. Well, there's a new sign that diplomatic efforts to end the nearly 4-year war in Ukraine may be intensifying. Today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters he'll likely meet with President Trump in Florida on Sunday to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine, amongst other things. Zelensky's announcement comes after he said he had a good conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on Christmas. The president told Politico he'd be meeting with Zelensky this weekend. The White House has not confirmed the meeting or said where it will be. Well, the flu season this year has been particularly tough. The latest CDC report estimates there have been close to 5 million cases and nearly 2,000 deaths, including at least 3 children. The agency also says flu levels are at the highest in New York, Colorado, and Louisiana. Urgent care centers and hospitals in New York have faced a spike in flu patients even earlier than usual in the season. And some schools in Georgia and Kansas had so many students sick with the flu, they had to close, prompting warnings from health officials concerned about spread from holiday travel.
We recognize you want to be together, but if you're ill, the best way to kind of keep your family safe is to say, maybe I shouldn't travel.
In Louisiana, the number of people hospitalized by the flu has more than doubled in less than a month. Doctors there say they're preparing for that number to keep rising. A major storm is rolling in from the Great Lakes with 4 to 8 inches of snow possible for portions of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Some isolated areas could see up to a foot of snow. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Los Angeles as California is grappling with the aftermath of some heavy rain.
Californians are digging out after an intense storm brought snow, rain, and mudslides, while a powerful winter storm threatens parts of the Northeast the day after Christmas.
I have gloves, I have a coat, I have 3 layers under here, and then 3 layers for pants and things like that.
New York City braced for what forecasters warn could be one of the most severe storms the area has seen in years.
The heaviest accumulation is likely to occur overnight. The snow and cold can result in widespread travel disruptions due to hazardous road conditions.
Across the region, snowplows stood ready. Salt crews came out in force, and buses with chains are on the move. Upstate New York and places like Erie, Pennsylvania got an early taste of the snow and frost. Connecticut officials say they are ready for whatever Mother Nature brings.
It's going to be a statewide event, but this is what we're built for.
Over the holiday in Southern California, storms turned some roads into rivers of mud, making it one of the wettest Christmas seasons in years. San Bernardino County residents, including Timothy Needham, are still assessing the damage.
This trench is the big damage that's going to keep myself and my neighbors from being able to live normal lives.
In the mountain town of Wrightwood, about 80 miles northeast of Los Angeles, cars remained buried up to their windows in rocks, debris, and thick mud, with cleanup expected to take several weeks. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And coming up next in sports, more on the Bucs' loss on News 3 Now. Well, for the Bucks having fun, Kevin Porter Jr. said that's what it takes for the Bucks to play their game. Excuse me, guys. It's a long night ahead of me. That is exactly what it takes for them to play their game tonight in Memphis. They would score first, but then AJ Green from the corner from Green for a 3 to hype up the Bucks, and then Kevin Porter Jr. at the top of the key. And then the Bucks lose this one 125-104. And although the Bucks lost this one, check out this shot by Ryan Rollins earlier in the game. A crazy circus shot behind the back twist throw into the goal. It's just a little interesting shot. Exciting for that guy. And the Packers receive a nice gift for Christmas yesterday, clinching a spot in the NFC playoffs because the Detroit Lions lost to the Vikings, eliminating them from postseason play. But the season is not over. Looking to take on the Ravens tomorrow night. The Packers are going to have to play sound ball with all the injuries they have. The defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, feels it's going to come down to one thing.
I mean, I think takeaways are going to be huge in this game. If you look at both teams right now, the ball is, I mean, one team hasn't lost if they win the ball. Our team hasn't lost if we win the ball. So we've got to certainly do a better job than we did last week attacking the ball.
And that's all for sports. We'll be right back with one check of the weather after this.
Steven's got Laura Dern and
my legal wife, Evie.
CBS Tonight.
What do you mean your legal wife?
You are legally my wife.
And finally tonight, celebrating Christmas year after year means all those decorations eventually pile up. Well, one Iowa man likely has your collection beat. He sets up Christmas Village each year and has amassed a total of 450 pieces. So now he's trying to sell them to downsize to keep that collection going. So if you're looking for a proper centerpiece for your decor next year, you might want to get in touch. That is a lot. I can't even pick one of those because there's so many there.
That's too much. It'd probably take forever to go look through them all, too.
Oh, that's a town experience. That's a city. That's not even a town. That's a city of Christmas decorations.
Well, it is the time of year you might want to get outside and take those Christmas decorations down because we're getting a little bit more cold coming back in.
Yes, and then that all-important travel, too, this weekend. I encourage Saturday for travel because we'll have rapidly changing conditions Sunday night going into Monday, Midwest-wide with rain changing to snow, windy conditions, and then with those temperatures plummeting, we're going to see things icing up. So definitely get on the road tomorrow if you have the opportunity to do that.
Great. Thanks, Alex. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. Coming up now is The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Our next newscast is tomorrow morning at 5. You can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.